It's that time again. Thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to like and subscribe. To stay tuned for all the future content that I have coming on. And bear with me, this video, I'm using a new recording setup that I've got, a new gimbal, so hopefully the video is clear and not all over the place. So anyways, this evening, what we're doing is I've been working on the fuel system for the car. And so I can kind of give you a, let's see if I can get to do it. Apologize. Okay. Trying to give you a view of the back of the car. And what we're doing is we're going through and recording, let's see, recording the fuel system. So if you can see, I'm kind of going through here. Apologize if it's kind of all over the place a little bit. I'm working on this. But what we're doing is we're running a -10 return and a -8 feed line. The smaller line that you see that's running down there, that right there is actually the brake line from finishing lines, which comes up here from the master cylinder, and then also where we have the solenoid for the trans brake, excuse me, for the line lock. I don't know why I keep saying trans brake, but line lock. Anyways, going down here, and so I'm gonna kind of show you what I'm doing to do to make that work, and kind of give you an idea. So what I've gone through and done is I've gone through and got the kind of rubber hose clamps that you can see like this right here. And what I did is, in order to compress these together beforehand, they have kind of like that curve to them right there. And so whenever you compress them, the way I'm going to be doing it, and I did this just as a kind of like an example, but you can see in here, if they have that curve piece, the bottom's fine, but that curve, it'll start to hit that where it comes down, and it won't allow it to lock all the way down. Again, like I said, I just did this to kind of give you an idea. But just in case you are wondering, 5/8 holds the -8 feed perfectly, and then 3/4 holds the -10 perfectly as well. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through and use the my tool that I've got in order to put in the nut certs, which are actually these guys right here. And what I've done is I've actually taken some extra hardware that I had that came with like a steam kit and stuff like that. So I made sure that I had enough of what I was wanting, and also having the lock nuts to go with it. And so essentially what I'm going to do is one of two things. I'm going to follow underneath the body and use the body mounting brackets, or areas where the mounting brackets were, which I'll show you right now. So bear with me a second. Get this creep over here that's grabbing my fuel lines. And there's the neighbor. That blown LS 427. Couple, a little bit of displacement, nothing big. So, all right. Anyways, so what I'm talking about doing is going through. You've got the factory mounting points, which are right here. So the fuel line actually came over here, and then it made kind of a 90 off into this area. And there's a clamp that squeezed down in here. This is what held the fuel filter, the factory one, and then it came up and followed the curvature over here. So what we're going to be doing from the front, if I can get up here, let's see. All right, so from the front, what we're going to be doing is we're going to have the fuel lines are going to follow same contour, kind of like I've got the brake line right now. They're going to follow this contour where it goes underneath here and it curves over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nut cert in right here. So basically all you got to do is just drill it out, the size just slightly over the size of the insert that you're going to use, and then of course compress it. And I'll show that in another video, just in case anybody's kind of wondering exactly how they work. But if you don't have one, get one. It's a fantastic tool to have. But anyways, so kind of the butterfly, like I was showing a second ago with the two clamps, what they're going to do is they're actually going to go either at this point right here, and that way I'll have the feed line, the fuel lines, feed and return lines will be right down here, and it's going to follow this, and then I might curve it back underneath there. I thought about running it underneath the car you know, kind of right underneath the seat, or directly along, kind of not necessarily the frame rail, but you know, like along this portion right here. The only issue with that is everybody knows with as low as these cars are, you know, you always have the potential to scrape something, and the last thing you want to be scraping is a fuel line. So anyways, you know, like I said, the way we're going to have it come up though, it's going to feed up here, and it's going to go through, and I'll be able to come over to the Y, and the Y is actually going to split off to the back of the block, or the engine, but the fuel rails, and here we go. Sliding all over the place here. And just in case you're wondering, this right here is the kit that I ordered off of Amazon. 70 pieces. Man, it is perfect. I tried checking the 1-inch, and they were just too big for that dash 10. It allowed it to move around, and I didn't like that. I don't want to have a bunch of slack in my lines. So let's see. Also, I've got the Holley fuel filter, which is going to go after the pumps to the fuel rail, and then essentially like this underneath the car, it's going to go to the back of the block, or I'll say the back of the block, but the back of the fuel rails. So it's going to split off, and once that splits off, then it'll feed, go to the regulator, and the regulator, it'll return back, and on its way back, it's going to go through this guy, and so that way I'll have the filter upstream, downstream. And just to give you an idea what I'm talking about, on the back of the block back here, well, I keep saying block, is I've got my inlets here, and I've also got my inlets here. These are going to be, right now they're dash 6, so I've just really got those more as a plug than anything. But those fuel lines are going to kind of come up along the curvature of the body like this, and then they're going to kick over here, and then we'll have it to where the Y off here and here, and then they're going to feed up front. As of right now, I've got the regulator set up with a Aeromotive regulator and gauge, and so I've got to kind of play around with this, figure out how I want to do it, because you're going to have a feed line here, a feed line here, feed from the rails, and then you're going to have your return going back, which again is going to be a dash 10. So I got to kind of play around with it. The bracket I'm actually using, I believe, is ICT, and it bolts on directly on the heads. So you can actually use it on either side if you were to use, you know, mounting brackets that moved things in different places. So, but anyways, so right now, like I said, we've got it like this. So of course, we're gonna have to swap all these out for dash 8s. So if you're doing anything like this, highly suggest go through, count what you think you need, because I should make the frequent shopper list at this point with Summit Racing, with the amount of stuff I've had to keep buying and little things I've forgotten. So anyways, but that kind of gives you an idea on that, and kind of just give you a view down the tunnel. And so, you know, like I said, fuel lines are going to come down here. They're going to make a curve here, follow straight, nice and tight against the body, and tuck in, and then it'll kind of curve around the backside, go up and over. And then we've got a Huron speed. It's a twin pump setup that we've got, and so we're just waiting on that to come in. And of course, I leave town tomorrow, and it'll be here tomorrow, which naturally that's how it always works. So anyways, but that'll allow us to have more than enough fuel. So we're going to be running 2 450 pumps. That way we've got future room to expand. I was looking at going with the Huron speed twin kit that they've got, but the only issue with it is that if I move the camera up in here, you might be able to see we've gone through and actually cut out for the opening for the radiator. So rather than having the curve back, it's actually gonna be able to stand up. And I'm gonna have a kind of a how-to, or what I did for this right here, on another video, but just want to kind of give you an idea, show you what we did. And I've got the 2 pieces also that I went through and used. So if I can get this to focus correctly, sorry. Here we go. All right, so anyways, I've got these 2 pieces right here that actually came out of the middle. And so the way that bracket fit in there, so I had to kind of cut that out on each side. But again, like I said, I'll go through in another video and show how I did that. So Thank y'all for tuning in. And as I said before, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to stay up to date with all the future content. And by all means, if anybody has any questions or kind of, hey, how-tos, this is a different way, or I think this is better, etc., by all means, please chime in, let me know, comment. And, that way it's, like I said, this channel is about learning, doing it yourself, but also learning at the same time. And so, the best way to learn is to listen to other people. And so anyways, thank you again for checking in, watching the videos. Stay tuned for more. Again, Wrench Speed Shop. Keep on wrenching. Thanks. Bye.